The 2026 World Cup kicks off this Thursday, so I figured I would make a quick video and give you my best bets for the World Cup. I'm going to go through and give my best bet to win each of the 12 groups, I think there is. And then I'm going to give you my bet to win the Golden Boot. I have a 75 to 1 long shot to win the Golden Boot. And then actually live on this video, I'm going to go through my bracket and see which team I end up coming out as the winner. And then I will bet on that team. So I actually haven't placed my best bet to win the World Cup yet, but I have the bracket already. I'm going to go through right here on this video. But first, I'm going to go through all the groups and give you my best bet to win each one. Before I do that, I just want to make it very clear that I'm not a soccer expert. I don't watch a ton of soccer. I'll watch the odd Premier League game, the odd Champions League game. I try to watch as much Canadian national team soccer as I can. As you can see, if you're watching this on video, I got my Canada jersey on. Very excited to watch them in the World Cup. I remember growing up, Canada wasn't even a factor. You wouldn't even you wouldn't even be like, oh, I wonder if they'll make the World Cup this year. You just knew they wouldn't. So to see Canada in back-to-back World Cups is very fun. Hopefully they finally win their first World Cup match. Yeah, I'm not a soccer expert. So don't just automatically tail everything that I'm going to give out here. And I'm going to give out some long shots to win some groups. So don't get in my comments. Tell me I don't know anything. Don't expect any in-depth analysis behind my picks. You're not going to hear me, list off all the players of each team. And you're not going to hear me talk about the formations and the strategies that these managers use. No. Basically what I did is I listened to a lot of podcasts. I watched a lot of videos about World Cup picks from other people. And I kind of took their opinions and then added in the few opinions that I have of my own, and then I just came out with some bets that I'm going to place. All of these bets are available at one of the 4 major sports books that should be available in most states: BetMGM, FanDuel, DraftKings, and Caesars. So also, obviously, I did some price shopping around, as you should as well. But I love the World Cup. Betting on the World Cup is one of my favorite events ever to bet on, despite not being, obviously, a soccer expert. So I wanted to get that disclosure out there. I'm not a soccer expert. I will mispronounce players' names for the few players that I'll even mention, and I'm not going to be going in depth. These picks are going to be pretty quick, and a decent amount of them, decent chunk, is going to be off just kind of gut feeling. So, yeah, let's go through it. We're just going to go here in order from Group A down to Group L. I'll give you my best bet and the odds to win each one. Then I'll give you my golden boot, and then we'll go through my bracket. If you're listening to the audio version of this, you may want to check this out on YouTube, because following along the bracket will make a lot more sense if you can visually see it. All right, let's get into it. Group A, my pick to win is going to be Mexico. I got it at minus 125. Obviously, 3 different teams have home field advantage: Mexico, the United States, and Canada. I really think it's probably Mexico that really has the only actual home field advantage. Not only do they have rabid fans in Mexico, but also you got to think about the games that are at elevation in Mexico City. It's going to be pretty difficult for some teams to adjust to playing at 7,300 feet of altitude. So, in Mexico, in their group, if you don't know, Czechia, South Korea, South Africa. I know South Korea is going to be a little bit of a popular dark horse pick, a little bit of a hipster pick to win that group. I actually think minus 140 for Mexico is more than a fair price with them when you factor in their home field advantage. So, Group A, pick to win, Mexico, minus 140. Like I said, these are going to be quick picks because I don't know enough to really dive into these pretty deep. All right. Pick to win Group B, which does involve Canada. Unfortunately, I'm not going to pick Canada to win the group. I will take Switzerland minus 130 to win Group B. Canada's going to be a little bit of a trendy pick to win this group, but I got to be fair. They have a lot of injuries, if you don't know. Canada has their best player, obviously, Alphonso Davies, is at least going to miss the first game against Bosnia and Herzegovina. I don't think he's going to play at all. I think we'd be lucky to get him in the knockout stage if Canada makes it that far. But it's not just him that's going to miss some time. Moise Bombito, he's been ruled out. The pride of the Annapolis Valley, where I'm from, Jacob Schaffelberg, he hasn't played in a long time. He's on the roster, but he's banged up. The Canadian team already doesn't have very much depth, and now they're added on top of that, they're one of the most injured teams heading into the World Cup. So that gives me a lot of pause. I think Canada will be able to beat Qatar, which should be enough to get them into the knockout stage. But I'll be betting on them to lose, unfortunately, in their opening game. And Switzerland is by far the best team in this group. So for the second straight group, I think Switzerland at minus 125 is more than a fair price. Let's move on to Group C. Let's not overthink it. Brazil minus 310 to win Group C. That is a group that involves Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. Don't really have much to say about this group. One of the biggest favorites to win a group, if not the biggest favorite. I don't really see. I think Morocco is being a little bit overvalued because of their semifinal appearance in the last World Cup. And then listen, I'll be cheering for Scotland because, you know, the motherland, Ian McMillan. I'm come from a Scottish family. But they're not going to be able to hang with Brazil, and neither will Haiti. So I think that one's pretty straightforward. Minus 350 for Brazil. Group D, and I think this is the only one where the betting favorite is not minus money. The United States of America plus 130 is the favorite. Turkey, Paraguay, and Australia. I tweeted out earlier today, I think the United States men's national team is a team that I don't know if there's any other team that continuously gets high expectations that they don't deliver on. Now, a lot of people were mad at me for saying that, saying, what expectations? What high expectations? I don't know, guys. The media I'm consuming, everyone's like, oh, U.S. might have a chance. Who knows? No. USA will underperform. I do not have them winning this group. Turkey is going to be a popular pick, but actually, I think there's a little bit of value on Paraguay. 4-1. They are my pick to win Group D. I don't know how much home field advantage the United States is going to have. I mean, American soccer fans aren't exactly known to be like ravenous soccer fans. Yeah, Turkey is going to be a little bit of a popular pick. But I like, and this is going to be a common theme throughout this video, I'm going to bet on some teams who play really good defensive soccer. Because if you play really good defensive soccer, you're probably going to play to 0-0 ties. Maybe you squeak out a goal, win 1-0. Those are the types of teams I think could end up pulling off an upset in winning a group. And Paraguay plays a very frustratingly defensive style of soccer, so I think they're going to be in every single game in this group. Now, if they play an elite team in the knockout stage, they're not just going to be able to win based on defense, but I think they're good enough defensively, from what I've heard and read and listened. I think they're worth a shot here at 4-1. Group E, my pick to win, Ecuador plus 350 over Germany, Ivory Coast, and Krakow, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Another example of a team that I think is one of the better defensive teams in the tournament, and because of that, I'm going to take a shot of them as pretty significant underdogs here to Germany. Ecuador has given up only 5 goals in 18 World Cup qualification games. They also haven't lost a match since a 1-0. Got to get my soccer terminology correct. 1-0 loss to Brazil in September of 2024. So Ecuador secretly playing some extremely good soccer. Germany obviously deserving of being favorites. I'm not saying Ecuador should be favored, but I do think there's a little bit of value there if Germany does have a misstep here. And I don't think this is the best German squad in recent World Cup history. So I'm going to take a shot at Ecuador to win Group E at plus 340. Group F, my pick to win is the Netherlands. I'll take the favorite at minus 125. I know Japan is going to be a popular dark horse at plus 280. But I do just think the Dutch, once again, a really good defensive team. I don't think there's any other team in this group that has the firepower to really get past the Netherlands defense. Now, maybe the Netherlands are going to fall into some trouble where they do something dumb like draw Sweden 0-0, and it opens the door for Japan. But overall, minus 125, I think, is a pretty good price point for them. So I'll take Netherlands to win Group F. Group G, my pick to win, Egypt, plus 400. I'm taking some long shots. I'm going to fade Belgium. I don't know if Belgium deserves to be a minus 240 favorite in this group. There is a mistake that a lot of teams make. A mistake that I feel like I have seen time and time again, not necessarily in soccer, but in other sports, especially when it comes to international play, where they rely on their veterans instead of leaning on their young kind of phenoms. The most recent example off the top of my head is the women's Canadian hockey team this past Olympics. They brought all these old vets, and then a young United States team just skated circles around them. I kind of see a similar thing with Belgium. Are they going to lean too much on their older players instead of kind of leaning on their young players, maybe. And if if they do, it could cost them. So I'm going to take a shot on Egypt. Obviously, Mohamed Salah, who, to be fair, is 33 years old. They have that other guy who is, I'm blanking on his name. Told you, not a soccer expert. Don't have his name in front of me, blanking on it. But Egypt has a couple of decent players. So, I mean, if Belgium does kind of screw up, someone's got to win this group. So I'm going to take a shot at Egypt plus 400. Listen, you didn't want me to just come on here and give you all favorites. I had to give some upsets here. But speaking of favorites, Group H, I will take Spain minus 450. I'm not going to get cute in every single group. Spain, I've been told, and the betting odds tell me the best team in the tournament. I don't think Saudi Arabia, Cape Verde, or Uruguay is going to best them. And that leads me to Group I, France minus 220. Don't need to get cute there. I know Norway has, what's his face there for Man City. Why am I, Holland, Erling Haaland, I get it. Do they have enough anywhere else? I don't think so. Senegal, no. Iraq, no. So France minus 220 to win Group I. Group J, I'm not going to take Argentina minus 280. Give me Group J, Algeria plus 750. It feels like every World Cup there's one African team that surprises people, and my pick for this year's surprise African team is Algeria. They have gone 21-2-4 in their last 26 matches. Now, obviously, a chunk of those were friendlies. A majority of those matches came against fellow African teams. But 21-2-4 at the international level is pretty good no matter what continent you're part of, no matter how many friendlies you're playing. I think they're flying under the radar significantly heading into this tournament. Obviously, Argentina is a big favorite, minus 280. I couldn't really find anything definitive about Austria, plus 370. So let's go completely off the map here with Algeria, plus 750. Group K. My best bet is Colombia, plus 200. I think the issue with Portugal, I'm going to fade them quite a bit here. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to want to be the focal point of that team. And I think, based on what I've heard and read, the rest of his opponents or teammates kind of sick of him. They're going to want to look elsewhere. He's going to kind of demand to be the focal point of this team. I think that's going to hurt them from a production standpoint. I think it's going to hurt their team chemistry. And I think this Colombia team is a very, very, very good, a very good offensive team. They can score goals. And if Portugal starts messing around, keep an eye on Colombia. And then the other two teams in that group, non-factors. The Congo, DR Congo, and Uzbekistan, non-factors. And then Group L, England minus 250 against Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. England will suffer some heartbreak at some point in the knockout stage, but it's not going to come in the group stage. They will win this group pretty handedly, in my opinion, minus 250 for England. So those are my picks to win each group. Before I go through the bracket, I want to give you guys my Golden Boot best bet. Kylian Mbappe won it last time. He's the favorite this time at 6-1. Harry Kane is close behind him at 7-1. Then there's a little bit of a drop-off on the odds. Then it goes Erling Haaland, Mikel Oyarzabal, 14-1. Lionel Messi, 16-1. Obviously, if you're going to bet on Golden Boot, you want to bet on a player that belongs to a country that you think is going to take a deep run, because if they play for a team that either doesn't make it to the knockout stage or gets eliminated in the round of 32, the players that are on teams that are going to make a run at least the semifinals are just going to have more opportunities to score. So it's going to be hard for someone on a team that doesn't go on a deep run to win the Golden Boot, so keep that in mind. With that being said, at 75-1, because I could come on here, I could be Mbappe, Kane. Listen, I got no pride to lose here. I know that I don't know what I'm talking about with soccer, so I may as well just give you a long shot. At Caesar Sportsbook, Luis Diaz of Colombia at 75-1. Now, obviously, the biggest issue with him is he would have to lead Colombia to kind of a deep run. At least quarterfinals, but probably at least semifinals. But this is a guy who is a goal-scoring phenom. He's 29 years old. He's entering the prime of his career, or he's in the prime of his career. He's just coming off a season for Bayern Munich where he scored 26 goals and 51 appearances. He's already been awarded a Golden Boot at an international level at the 2021 Copa America. He was a co-winner of the Golden Boot along Lionel Messi. So yeah, as long as Colombia, because that's kind of the issue, is maybe they don't go on a deep run. But if Colombia can go on a deep run, Luis Diaz 75-1 to win the Golden Boot. I think that's the best kind of dark horse you're going to find in that betting market. All right, I'm going to share my screen here, and we are going to go through the bracket here. Nope. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. All right, gonna make myself small, put myself up in the corner here. So obviously for the bracket, so I did this at, what is this? This website is 2026bracket.vercel.app. Now, for me to get to this bracket stage, I had to go through and rank where I thought every team was going to finish in their group. And then I had to put in the top, the third place teams that I think are going to advance, because some third place teams will advance to the knockout stage. I'm not going to go through every group and show you guys where I ranked every single team. Obviously, the winners that I gave out, I put in as winning their groups. If you want to know where I, placed some other countries, you'll have to just kind of look at the bracket here. But this is what, based on my predictions, this is what the bracket will look like. So let's just go through round by round and pick who I think will win each match. Okay, so round of 32. Ecuador against Morocco. And I'm going to do this very quick based off basically just gut feeling and everything else that I've read to this point. I'm not going to dive into these matches at all. I will take Ecuador to defeat Morocco. That is the first place team in Group E against the third place team in Group C. France against United States. Yes, I have the United States coming in third place in their group. Ha! But they will advance to the knockout stage. Unfortunately, they'll have to take on the juggernaut that is France. I'll take France to win that one. Czech Republic against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Let's go Czech Republic in that one. Netherlands against Scotland. Obviously, you want to go Netherlands, right? Yeah, let's go Netherlands there. Unfortunately, I wanted to take my Scots, but I can't do it. Brazil against Japan. I'm going to take Brazil over Japan. Germany against Norway. I will take Norway. Erling Haaland leads them to a win against Germany to advance to this to the, what is it, round of 16 and then quarter. Wow, with all these added teams, it's much bigger tournament, much bigger knockout stage. Mexico against Ivory Coast, aka Côte d'Ivoire. I will take. It's going to be Mexico City if Mexico wins their group. So yeah, I will take Mexico in that one. England against Uzbekistan, obviously England. Portugal against Croatia. I'm going to take, I think Portugal kind of gets things together here, can take down Croatia. They stumble in the group stage, but they get things together by the knockout stage. Spain against Austria, we'll go Spain. Paraguay against Canada. I do have Canada advancing as third place team. I think the win against Qatar will be enough. Against Paraguay, I will take Paraguay. Canada's lack of depth. Alphonso Davies does not come back in time for the knockout stage. I'll take Paraguay to win that one. Egypt against South Korea. Egypt did a really good job of winning their group. But they just don't have the talent. South Korea gets that win there. Algeria against Uruguay. I'm going to take Algeria. I told you they're kind of my dark horse. Goes on a semi-deep run African team. Turkey against Belgium. Let's go Turkey. Switzerland against Argentina. I'm going to go with Argentina there, and then Colombia against Panama. Favorable matchup for Colombia. I'll take Colombia there. All right, we go back. We are now in the round of 16. Let's keep things going. Ecuador against France. France will win that. Czech Republic against Netherlands. I'm going to take Czech Republic pulling off the upset here. Based off anything? Nothing. Based off gut feeling. Then we got Brazil against Norway. We will take Brazil wins that. Mexico against England. England will win a close one. Portugal against Spain. Spain will defeat Portugal. That'd be kind of a fun little rivalry matchup there. Paraguay against South Korea. I'll take Paraguay in that one. Algeria against Turkey. Algeria, the Cinderella run continues, defeats Turkey. And then Colombia, another rivalry match here. Colombia takes down their rival, gets revenge from the Copa America final that they lost them. Was it Colombia that played them in the final in the last Copa America? I think it was. Give me Colombia. We are down to the quarterfinals. France gets past Czech Republic. Spain, Paraguay. I'm gonna go Paraguay upset Spain. Paraguay upset Spain. Shocker of the tournament. Brazil and England. This is where the heartbreak comes for England. Brazil gets past England. Algeria and Colombia. My two dark horses will face each other. I will take Colombia. This means the final four have France against Paraguay, Brazil against Colombia. I'm going to take France defeats Paraguay. Colombia beats Brazil. Third place match, I have Brazil beating Paraguay, and in the final. So here's what I'm going to do. Now, I didn't plan this. Now that I've gotten to this, a France against Colombia final, I'm going to say France wins. But I'm also going to bet on Colombia. And then maybe I can hedge in the final or cash out. But for the sake of this, I'll take France beats Colombia in the World Cup final. There you go. Let me save this bracket. Well, I'll do that after. Let me check to see what these teams, at least just on FanDuel, I just want to see what their odds are. Obviously, France is the favorite at like plus, 470? Or they're second on the odds list, plus 470. So I'll bet on France at plus 470, and I'll also bet on Colombia 40-1. I will shop around and get the best price. I'm not going to do this while I'm recording. But I'll bet on France to win. I'll bet on Colombia to win. Those will be my two World Cup best bets. Those are all my best bets. I'm going to send out a few more before opening kickoff. I'll try to find some props and maybe some specific group bets that I like. And if I, before the event kicks off, I will tweet out like a document of all my picks. But thank you for watching and listening. Gamble or bless. I will be betting match by match, of course, throughout the event. The betting $100 every day for a year, a big focus for the next, 2 months almost, is going to be World Cup matches. So let's get excited for that. Hopefully I don't lose too much money betting on the World Cup. Gamble or bless. Enjoy the tournament. It's a fun one. We only get it once every 4 years, my friends, so let's enjoy it. We'll be talking. Take care. Good luck. Gamble or bless.